Sorry about that. I thought we started at 6.
Go ahead, Scott.
I
You're
think we're
live.
we're just gonna see, make sure it goes live.
You're on.
Okay. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Parks and Cemetery meeting for Thursday, October 29th at 5:07. Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which
It stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty.
liberty and justice for all. I'm just gonna get the YouTube up here so we can monitor all the chats. Myself and Mary Beth will be monitoring the chat log. I just need to pull up the agenda real quick.
I have it in front of me if you want me to just to read it down.
Yeah, if you can just read it, that's fine.
Okay, so number 1 was called meeting to order, which we already did. Number 2 would be old business. First on old business is discuss signs for Pinegrove and Greenlawn. Did we get a price for that?
I talked to Jake today and he still has not. He's been busy with leaf cleanup, so he's going to work on that. And I told him that, just start the process, and obviously it's a little late now to get those in the ground and so forth, but we'll have all winter to really look at the signs and make a decision. So come spring, we can just get them put in and, do the purchasing this winter and get everything ready to go.
Sounds good.
Yep.
B would be Greenlawn upgrade, seating, and new road. How's the new road going on that?
I was up there. It looks good. They cut that in when they did the seating, and all the seating had taken. So it looks really, really nice up there. Did a nice job.
Yeah, the grass actually came in pretty good.
Mhm.
And it should look good in the spring. It looked like it took well enough so we won't have a problem come spring. And we're gonna keep it staked off so the plows don't grab it or whatnot.
Yeah, we did a nice job.
Okay, new business. Action, signage for Gilman and other parks.
So there was a question last night from Selectman Bennett on the Commons. I guess there was some cars parked on the grass, and he thought our meeting had something to do with that, but this is a totally different subject. So it has nothing to do with parking on the grass on town commons.
That would have to go through the police, I believe, because they're the ones who have to put up signs for that, I believe.
Right, because I think, I'm not sure, but I don't know if the Board of Selectmen oversee the commons or we oversee the commons. I'm not sure.
I believe, the common where the gazebo is, usually if anybody has interest in using the gazebo or surroundings or any common, has to be approved by the Board of Selectmen.
Right. So I don't know how it's written on the town bylaws, who oversees those green areas up there. So that's a question I'd have to reach out to the town administrator.
I know, just this week and last week, Jake and his crew have been cleaning the leaves in the common, and they were parked off to the side over on the crows on the common. They were on the lawns to keep the driveway accessible for the business. They were picking up leaves, so I don't know if that had any part of it or not.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it might be that restaurant up there. A lot of times people park around that too. But I mean, I don't know. Who was complaining about this?
I guess it's an ongoing issue in front of the library.
Yeah,
They're parking over there, so it's really getting tight up there, and now I guess there's been some complaints. They've been parking on the commons. So
yeah. A lot of it's got to do with that restaurant.
right, Crows
That's
on the
what
Commons
the big
really,
thing is, yeah.
they've done a really big explosion of business, and we've never seen the likes of that many cars up there. So that's just a question that needs to, I think, be brought up to the Board of Selectmen and just see who has, for
Yeah,
scheduling.
I don't believe that's under us.
I don't think it is. It's not a park. It's not a cemetery. It's just a common. So I think it under the Board of Selectmen it falls under.
Well, we maintain the common, but like I said, the buildings and ground crew were parking on that due to leaf pickup, and it is getting quite busy up there. And there is a future plan of getting a architect or engineer to see if we can come up with another source of parking, which would take probably a couple, 3 months where we see what we can do, what lands are available for lease or purchase, or if there is enough property in the town commons. But then there will be a study going on expanding the parking.
Bob, what about across the road where the DVD place used to be, VCR place or whatever? There's, right before you go into the old cemetery, there used to be a building there.
That's possible. There is, I think we're going to be reaching out to the church as well, because they have property over there, as well as budding Boynton Library. So there are some possibilities, but we like to do the study and get everybody's opinion and try to please everybody and not discourage any businesses. So
yeah, that's bright, because we can't afford to lose businesses, that's for sure.
No. And Crows on the Commons is doing so well that we don't want to discourage that, but we have to take care of our town entities also. So
Okay, discussion. Dogs must be leashed and cleaned up according to the town bylaw. Is that up at Gilman?
there is, but I was thinking of putting one master sign up there. Those signs are sprinkled throughout, no pun intended, the park. But I think we need something at the access points of each area of the park when people go through those gateways, a list of rules for that park, because they're already in the park when they're walking their dogs and letting them run around, so they don't know, they don't see the signs.
Yeah, also the people living across the road just let them go too, but that's
Right. Well, that's not good either.
The thing is too, is we always put these signs up. Well, when it comes time to, nothing really ever gets done. That's the problem.
Right. So I think we really need to come up with a plan of two major signs, both access points to the park where the public goes through, or 3 access points.
I think we should pull one as we're going in on field 1 by the tennis courts, and also down by the field 2 where the concession stand is.
Yeah, wherever they
spots should be where we put them, I think.
Yep, and we can put them, there's already a COVID sign down by the concession stand. They can tack another sign on that pole, and then move one of the COVID signs from the tennis court area to the other down by the playground, and they can tack a sign below that one too.
Now, could we use the signs we got, or should we order more and keep those other ones up also?
I think the COVID signs, Bob, what do you think? Are those COVID signs okay? I mean, is that going to change? They're pretty generic.
I was talking about the dog signs that are already up, and then order more besides.
Oh, yeah, I think we should keep those within the park, but I think we need an informational sign when you walk in the park, so the people can see, hey, these are the rules of the park. So when they come in, not when they're already inside, when they're already walking their dogs. My fear is when we get that grass green and growing, that we don't want dogs and all that nonsense going on up there.
Well, we could always outlaw it, but if we do that, we're going to be a lot of people upset.
I mean, it's got a great walking path. Yeah. I just hate to take that away. I mean, we have a great walking path. It's a great place to walk your dog, but you have to do it the right way.
I wonder if we should put those bag things up there too, like the parks got.
We got 3 of them. They
Oh,
took
do
them
we?
out of the cemetery. Yeah, they're at the cemetery barn. They're being stored. We took them out.
Maybe
of
we
the
can put
cemetery.
them up there, because we're not gonna use them in the cemeteries anymore.
Nope. So we can put 3 of those up, and I think that would be plenty.
Okay, that sounds good. Do we need to, should we, look into seeing how much those signs cost, or?
Yeah, we'll have to get a price. Mary Beth, can you work on that? Putting together a sign package for Gilman Waite in
Yeah.
all of our parks, pretty much, I think, because Otter River will come online eventually, and
Hopefully, East
Cottage
Templeton
Lane.
too. Yeah,
Yep,
I'd love
So I
to
think-
get that rolling again.
yep. So I think we should have the same signs for all of our parks.
Yeah, we can go over that. You can let me know exactly what you want the signage to say, and then we can get some pricing.
Okay. So on the agenda, I think I wrote the dogs, no golfing, no motorized vehicles.
Yeah, this is on the whole thing. It says dogs must be leashed and cleaned up according to the town bylaw. No motorized vehicles on grass except for Town of Templeton vehicles or otherwise approved. No golfing in work hours and policies.
Yeah, so park hours are typically sunrise to sunset,
On
but
the dusk.
Gilman Waite's a little different because now that the basketball lights are operational through, I think we turn them on in May 1st and they shut off October 31st. So they shut off at 9:30 at night. So that would be the hours of operation up there. At 9:30, once those lights shut off, that's it. The park's closed. So that's the only difference that we'd have to make to the Gilman Waite. All the other parks are sunrise to sunset.
Hey, this no motorized vehicles thing.
Mhm.
Now, is that for everybody, or who is the otherwise approved?
It's
You know
pretty
what
much
I'm
like,
getting- You know
like
what
the
I'm
rec-
getting at.
yeah, the recreation committee obviously doesn't have Town of Templeton equipment. And we're trying to do that. We're trying to get a piece of equipment on capital planning that would be Town of Templeton equipment up there. And then we'd have to that would be the really authorized other personnel that could drive on that grass.
How about the neighbor?
Well, that's
Because, yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, you can say what you want, but that guy cleans up a lot up there.
I know, and maybe that's something we can look at if we want to talk about what he can do and what he can't do up there for public safety and so forth. But I think we should have a discussion with him.
Yeah, because there is sometimes he really shouldn't be out riding when he does.
No,
But when
No.
it's 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, when I'm up there walking a lot of times, he's out there, he's doing a lot of stuff, and he's actually
Right.
doing good for the park.
and that piece of machinery that he owns, that RTV, it has the grass tires on it. It's one-wheel drive. It's not doing any damage to the property. And it's just a timing issue, I think, that we need to talk to him about that. We don't mind if you volunteer and do your time up there, but we just need to know, and we need to know that you're on the walking path only. Because like I said, once we get that grass established,
Mhm.
we don't want snowmobiles, we don't want anything. And that's, because snowmobiles, if there's not enough snow, you know what happens. They're going to tear it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Thing is, if we let him do it,
Right,
as I've said in the past, we let him do it, how can you stop everyone else?
right. So that's a discussion we need to, if it's all for one, or, you know what I mean? So it has to be universal all around. So that's a discussion we need to have with him. And, I think we need to go from there.
Okay, plan of action for the proposal installation of irrigation, field rehab, fence upgrading, building upgrades in the summer of 2021.
Yep. So that whole project got pushed out from fall town meeting to the annual town meeting this spring. Due to it had to go to in front of capital planning, and it wasn't an unforeseen project, so it didn't comply with the bylaw. So that's going to give us more time. I know Bob and I are going to meet this week and finalize the capital plan, so we know exactly what has to go before capital planning, because that process has started now. So we have to get that in, and Bob has a meeting, I think, in November for DPW to present the capital plan for Gilman Way.
Are we still having a little bit of an issue with money?
Nope. I talked to Mr. Henshaw and the CPC. You know, they voted unanimously for the $230,000 for that project, and that stands.
Okay.
So I will reapproach CPC again to pretty much get a bookmark on that vote. Now that has been moved to annual town meeting, and they will present the warrant to the Board of Selectmen, stating that they want to present the $230,000 from open space and recreation to Gilman Way projects.
So we're gonna, as soon as this gets voted in, we're jumping on it, correct?
Yep. What happens then is it goes to the town administrator's office and the bid process starts. Being such a large scale project, it has to go through procurement and it has to go through the 30B process because it's all over a certain amount of money. So they'll go out to state bids, so forth, and then the town administrator will go through the procurement process, put the bids out, and we should be pretty quick. If we have the meeting in May and everything passes, we should see work, when the procurement process is all set, hopefully by July, which would be great.
Okay.
In irrigation, that is the best time to put in irrigation because that's when the companies are at their slowest.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll be able to actually grow the grass really good in the fall anyway.
Yep. Talking to Gatsby Grounds, who, to segue into that, our buildings and grounds department aerated those fields, and I don't think they've been aerated since they put that park in. So they did a heavy aeration. Gatsby Grounds applied a tremendous amount of lime, and recently they just applied a fertilizer treatment and some overseeding. And believe it or not, the grass is already greener up there a little bit.
Yeah, I was up there today. Do you want to know? We actually at the school have tested that. We know exactly what kind of grass and everything in that is there.
Yep, Gatsby Grounds is doing that. Yeah, we could take that, but Gatsby Ground has done their own also.
Yeah.
To get a current soil analysis of the entire park, so they're going to get those results back to us too. So we can
because we have that. We have that from the University of Massachusetts.
Yep.
And if you'd like me to get a copy of it, I will.
Yeah, if you could, then I can compare it with what Gatsby Grounds comes back with too. Because they did a preliminary one just to see how much lime they would need, but they did a really in-depth one to see all the minerals that are in that soil and what needs to be done. So they're just not going to throw fertilizer. They're going to do it scientifically to see, okay, this is the type of soil, this is the type of base, this is the type, how much loam is up there. They really do a good job. So
yeah, because Mr. Moulton did that with university when we were going to go a while ago, and things just kind of whatever.
Right. Yep. So that's a good thing. Gatsby Grounds is they're done for this year up there. They've done all the applications they're going to do. So now they'll come back in the spring and revisit to see what the next step is. And then once irrigation goes, say they put it in July, they say they can overseed at the end of August and start the seed process. So that's a discussion we're going to have. I think we're just going to do the soccer fields and have to probably close that for a year to get everything to grow. With the irrigation and so forth, it may be less, but I think with the
better to be safe than sorry. That's why I believe we need to start investigating on Cottage Lane and Otter River and all that. Because we're going to need places to do all that. Plus, we still have we'll be able to put them on the softball side with the
right. We didn't lose. We're only going to lose that little. I mean, we're going to lose the new baseball field for a little while, but they're going to get that infield straightened out up at the new field, and then obviously the soccer fields need to be redone. So I think that'll give it a good chance to really germinate and get a good. And they're going to put in a grass that's designed for rugged play. It's not going to be your home grass that you can just walk on. It's going to be designed a little bit thicker blade and a little bit deeper root. So, there'll be some bare spots, but they'll come back and fix them. You're going to have your bare spots from your nets and your people digging in the outfield, but that could be fixed real quick.
I was hoping Jake was with us. One thing I like to say is about the, with this rain, this is the perfect time to go up and look at the infields because you can see exactly where we need to put stuff. And
Yeah,
actually, the game
they're not
field
bad.
wasn't bad.
Yep.
Field one was the worst one.
Mm-hmm.
Same places. It's right behind the pitcher's mound and down third baseline.
Yep.
But I mean, this is actually a good time to go because then we'll be able to see what we need to get to put more in the spring.
Right. We're not going to need too much. We have a small pile up there now, and as we can get enough just to skim it off. But I talked to him about removing that grass on field one on the edges,
Yeah,
and he said that's no problem.
good.
But we'll
Yeah.
put in fresh infield mix in those spots. That way, the drainage will, like you said, will come off those fields.
I
Right
think
now,
that's the best thing we can do. That
Yep.
field was looking real good. Like I said, it's really just, well, I call field one. The one
Mhm.
coming up the hill
Yep.
by the playground,
Yep.
that's the one that really needs the work. The others look pretty good. I was
Mhm.
surprised.
Yep. So I think on the main field, we're going to take off those two grass areas on the side and get some new red
Did he
stuff for the
agree?
warning track.
Did he agree that'd be?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He said it's just, and even Gatsby Grounds kind of scratched his head a little bit and said, well, it's kind of weird to have grass right there.
Yep.
I said, don't seed it, don't fertilize it. We're going to take it out. So
I'm finally getting my way.
no, it makes sense for the drainage because that field isn't draining right. So,
Well, that's why I really wanted to do it.
yep.
Let's see. Next is scheduled next meeting, but first I'd like to welcome Mary Beth with us.
Thank you.
Nikki, Kirby.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure. I think we've got a good hire here, and I think things are going to be great.
Thank you. I think so.
Well, I hope everything's going good.
Yeah.
What I will do is I don't know if you have my cell phone number or anything. I will get that to you. So if you need me, I work right at the school, so I'm not far away.
Excellent.
So, okay.
Yeah, I've been with Mary Beth since I think day one.
Yeah.
Yep, like just going over, how to schedule meetings and all that stuff and
Yep.
contacts and
Yeah.
But
Scott's
if you
been
need
great.
something, need something signed or anything, I'm right there. I'll just
Yep.
walk up
Perfect.
and sign it. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Mickey.
Okay. Schedule next meeting. Does this work? Do you like 5 o'clock or? I don't mind 5 o'clock.
we had to do it
I thought it
because
was at 6. That's why I was late. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
we had to do it because there was an advisory committee meeting at 6:30, so that's the only reason we bumped it. But 5 or 6 works for me. It doesn't bother me.
Actually, earlier the better for me,
Right,
to be honest.
right. Yep.
I don't know how that with Bob.
Yeah, it depends on what I have on the calendar actually, but the next meeting I'd like to schedule. I do have some paperwork from Kelly. There are some funds that I was going to bring up tonight, but unfortunately I left those behind at the office. I was running out in a rush. If we need to spend these funds, I forget, I don't even know the name, so I don't even want to try to guess, but there are a couple of them. She's concerned that we need to start spending some of that money on these funds. So I'll bring that up at the next meeting. And Scott, Jake talked to you a little bit over to Pinegrove about that 12 grave lot.
Yes, he did. It makes sense. I mean, it's a 7-foot stone, he said, or it's how big is that stone?
The base is 7 feet. I tried calling Athol Granite Works back today. I tried a couple times yesterday. I'm unable to get a call back or talk to the lady. But what happened was, I'm sure it was back when, way before my arrival, they sold this 12 grave lot. And when we first pulled some tapes and to see where the lots actually were, it wasn't making sense. So the other day, Brian and Jake finally spent several hours over there going back way down, taking off some other monuments and measuring their way up. And when they sold the lot, they didn't measure it out or something, because there's 2 trees that are in the way of this 12 grave lot. So we have to remove the pine trees. One of them is actually dead, but there is one that our bucket truck is unable to reach. So I'm gonna have to hire a crane company to come in and remove that other tree. And then once we get the trees and the stumps out, there won't be a problem. So I'm hoping to do that over the winter.
Do you need us to vote in to use that fund there?
Yeah,
Perpetual-
yeah, I'm pretty much exhausted my tree budget.
Do we have enough money in that?
My tree budget?
No, in our perpetual care.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got
we
enough
do.
money to buy me a summer home, but
Well, we can do that after.
We can buy you,
What about
we can buy
me?
you a permanent home up there.
Do you need us to make a vote tonight on that?
well, let me get an estimate. The companies I use for this last storm, there's 2 companies and they work well together. We did a lot of work on Patchersville Road, removing trees off of private property. The gentleman has a crane and the other truck is a log truck cherry picker. Let me get an estimate on the tree and I'll come back to you with a price. I'm guessing you're probably looking at $1,200.
Oh, okay. So you can use that tree for a log cabin at your place.
Yeah,
There's your summer
I-
home. Done.
but the other ones, my crew should be able to handle and take care of, so that'll keep the cost down. And I was gonna talk to the people at Ethel Granite Works, explain what we found and been working on, and now we have this problem. And I'd rather do it when the ground's got a slight freeze in it, so we don't damage too much of the grass area.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
All right,
we'll
so just-
bring that up again next meeting,
Yeah,
and we'll be
Yeah,
able
I'll
to do a vote on that then.
Well, yeah, I'll have the estimate on that, and I'll have that paperwork for those other funds that I was talking about.
Question on this, how much longer do you think we're gonna have to do it this way? If we could find a place that we could socially distance and still put it on this, is there a way with masks they'd let us meet?
I'd have to run that through the Board of Health and Town Administrator, see if that's infringing on the open meeting law. Long as we advertise and publicize, I don't see a problem. But I see this going on for
Oh, yeah,
a while.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go backwards here shortly.
yeah, I do too.
Sadly.
I mean,
but, I mean,
we're
it's-
hopefully opening school again next week, but we'll see what happens.
But yeah, it's common sense. You wash your hands, wear your mask, and
Mhm.
watch your distance. So,
No, not that I don't mind doing it this way. I just miss you, Bob, that's all.
yeah, I know you want a hug. No, it's in-person meetings are much more enjoyable. You seem to get a lot more done.
Well, then if you need stuff signed and stuff, everyone's right there and it just
Right.
gets easier, yeah.
But I'll ask and see if I can get some answers, and we'll go from there. I know the Board of Health was talking, I believe there's 5 cases in Templeton at the moment.
Yep.
And if we reach 10, up to 10 cases, we're gonna go red. Right now, we're in the yellow. So we really wanna stay under that 10.
Yeah.
Because it'll take a while to get out of the red again.
Well, I know they've stopped a lot of sports in the schools because of that. The Gardner stopped it. I guess Oakmont's stopping it. So it's gonna be, we're out for this week, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Right.
The kids got it from Quabbin, so it's all starting to go around and around and around, just like they said it would, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all we have.
So back to that piece of equipment for Gilman. I'd like to get, and I talked a little bit about this. It's the same piece of equipment that our neighbor uses up there, a utility vehicle. I think Gilman Waite will warrant that piece of equipment. I'm going to put it on the capital plan.
That, or you could go to the school and look at the workman we got.
It's the same concept.
If we could go through a Toro workman,
Mhm.
it's got a little dump truck thing on the end. It's unbelievable. It works great.
We need something to pull the groomer and have a dump.
That's what
a utility.
That's what they use it for. Plus, they actually have an attachment that they can plow with it.
Right. We can move, we can move stone dust on the walking path up there. I think we need something once that park comes online, with with all the stuff that we're doing up there. We don't have a vehicle to take care of that park up there. Jake has to haul his tractor up there all the time. It's just not efficient for him.
Well, like I said, I've always wanted to get a building up there too, that we could just store that kind of equipment in.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up there. With that donation that was just made by the Lions Club.
Yep.
They sell 20-foot Connex boxes used 2 or 3 times. They're brand new pretty much for $1,900 in Gardner delivered.
Just the right amount.
Yep.
I think it's something we should look into.
Definitely.
Then we can put a lock on that's just ours.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't have to worry about putting anything in the concession stand, which we're not supposed to.
Right, because
we
once that's
also
done,
don't have to worry about putting something in there and having people climbing all over it.
Right, because the fire department's made it very clear that gasoline and stuff like that all needs to be stored outside. I mean, once that concession stand's done, there's no floor drain in that to store equipment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't want tractors.
Someday though to get another building up there just to park things in.
Mm-hmm. But this 20-foot Connex box would fit the groomer, this piece of machinery, all our rakes, our grass, all our stuff. Stuff for the irrigation, all our utility stuff would go in that town locked box. You know what I mean? And then the other box would be just for sports equipment, like it's designed to be, with all the shelving in it.
So what do we need a vote for that, or?
Let me get some prices for you.
Yep. We'll put that on the next agenda.
Yeah.
How's that sound, Mary Beth? That sound okay?
There'll be a 20-foot Connex box for Gilman Waite with the funds used from
Lions Club.
Lions Club
Yep.
golf tournament.
Did that check did that end up being
All set? Yep. The town treasurer deposited that check.
Good.
No problems. Thank you very much to the Templeton Lions.
That was very nice of them. They've helped us. Like I thank them so much because, they gave us the grill for up there.
Absolutely.
They've done a lot for us, and they've done a lot for the whole town. So I gave my great speech. They told me I had 5 minutes. I did 1 minute ahead of time.
No, they definitely, they shocked me this year when they said they wanted to have that golf tournament and donate to Gilman Waite, because they're just so happy to see that it's going along up there, and we're gonna get it done, and it's just a beautiful area. So,
well, they know we do a lot for the children in this town too, and it is a great thing. Without this board and the recreation department, this town would be hurting a little bit. Years, and it's just like I said, we got to get this done so I can retire.
Yep. I hear you. We'll talk. I'll get
it since day one. I'm ready.
I know. But I'll get that quote. They're about $1,900 for a used. It's been used 2 or 3 times, so they're pretty much brand new. So that would hold all of our equipment. But I'm gonna get with Bob on that.
Put it out in that back corner too, and then that would maybe keep people from parking out there too.
Yeah, and he said, another spot we could put it on the inside of the park. Where the other serving window was going to be?
Yep.
Right in that back side right there.
I guess we could do that too.
That way it's inside
too bad.
the park.
I was looking at that today. You can laugh, but I still don't know if we might. I don't know. I'll discuss it with you sometime.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm having those
I
things.
don't want any more. Your visions are expensive.
Yes, but they work perfect, don't they? You have to admit. Okay, so schedule next meeting. You want to you wanted to, do it the last Thursday of the month again?
We
That was
can't
the
do
one
that.
that-
That's Thanksgiving.
Oh, that we don't want to do it then, no.
Nope.
Nah, you're not gonna see me then.
No, me neither. Well, I
I'm gonna
might
be too busy.
I'd be burping. No.
I'll be cooking.
Do we want to do it? Well, the only reason we went to the end of the month was because they were scheduling, everybody had their meetings in the beginning and there was no room, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to try to do it beginning of the week? That week?
Another day of the week.
Yeah, like Tuesday that week?
I mean, I can look in the town calendar and see what other meeting.
Why don't we plan on, because we used to always do it the first Thursday of every month, but I guess that was all taken with this.
Yeah, Thursday's a tough day to have meetings.
But what they were saying was everybody was booking up in the beginning of the month anyway.
Yeah.
So do you want to try to do the first Tuesday just to we're gonna have to get one in. I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like right now we really gotta,
Do you want me to look at the 24th and then just get back with Scott?
yeah, that's not, if that's okay with Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at the 24th tomorrow when I'm in the office and check that and see from there. And
Okay.
I'll contact Scott, see what we can do.
And I
I'll
have
be
your
back.
email now, so I'll email you my phone number.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'll be in the office tomorrow anyway, Mary Beth, in the afternoon to meet with Bob. So I'll chat with you then and see how we look.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Is there any other business we want to discuss?
I think that's it. Like I said, if we can get that meeting in and, get some things rolling, and I think we'll be in good shape come winter. It'll be quiet first in the winter.
It should be, but let's knock on wood and hope it is.
Right.
Do we have a vote for an adjournment?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I will second it. Mary Beth, very nice meeting you.
Very nice to meet you as well.
Scott, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Mickey.
Have a great evening.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you.